Most students actually spend hours studying only to get the same bad results. So, what does this mean? This means that being hardworking is not necessarily going to guarantee you your grades for IGCSEs. Getting your grades for IGCSEs is all about studying smart rather than studying hard. I mean, that applies to almost every exam board. In one of my exam strategy sessions that I held for my student, I talk about the studying equation that got me 8 A's for my IGCSEs. If I'm being completely honest, I was actually thinking twice on whether to share this information for free out on YouTube. But hey, I then thought to myself, I've never lost anything by giving out more. I go through how you can spend less than 2 hours a day studying and you can still gain more knowledge compared to studying 6 hours a day. If you are someone who is looking for a shortcut to get top grades, this is it. This is one of the biggest secrets that I'm giving away for free. So remove all distractions and pay attention. So today I'm going to go through I'm going to be spilling some sauce, some secret sauce, which you guys have probably never seen before, which is why I encouraged all of you to join today. Because the biggest problem with most of you guys is that you guys are not dumb, but you guys like to think that you are, right? You think that you are just because you score bad grades. But honestly, you guys just have no absolute clue how to study most of the time. 90% of the time, you guys just have no clue what to do, when to do. You don't know what system to use. You don't know what techniques to use. Yes, there's a lot of information out there, but too much information is also not good, right? So this is where I'm going to be telling you, I'm going to be giving you an equation, right? You might be wondering equation, but this isn't math. Just hear me out, right? I'm going to be giving you an equation that you can use from now on for your studies until IGCSEs for some of you and for your A levels as well, right? So this is the same thing I used. Whatever I'm sharing, I've used for myself and I've seen success for myself. So I'm not taking things out of the air over here, right? It's whatever that's worked for me. If it worked for me, you guys are not that special that it won't work for you. Okay, that's the whole point, right? So right now, I want to introduce you guys to this little equation over here called the studying equation, right? You might be wondering, there's an equation to studying as well. I thought it's just, sitting down and doing work, but no, absolutely not, right? There's an actual equation to this. And I stumbled upon this about roughly 4.5 to 5 years ago, right? So when I stumble upon things back when I was doing my IGCSEs, I just don't share this information with my friends at all, right? I'm a huge gatekeeper. Whatever I learn, I keep to myself. And because I want to score the best grades, right? Because I'll get pretty jealous if my best friend scores higher than me. So I keep all this information to myself. But was that the right choice? Probably not, because if I shared with more people, more friends back then, we'd all score good grades together and we'll all be happy together. But no, out of my entire year group, probably only 30 of them scored really good grades and the others were just B, C's, D's. And yeah, so I do kind of regret not sharing, which is why I'm going to be sharing everything today regarding this studying equation. So most of you guys study this way, right? I'm pretty sure 4 of you here are guilty of studying this way. So what is studying, right? What is studying? There's so many ways to define studying. Some of you might say, hey, studying is just shutting up, sitting down, right? Putting AirPods in, take my textbook out, do work. Okay. Or studying is just completing a past year question on integration, for example. Or studying is just going to school, getting my work done, coming home, playing sports, going to sleep. That's studying for you guys, right? So all of you are absolutely wrong. And I'm here to change your perspective, and I'm here to make sure all of you actually improve. So I want you guys to take a look at this equation. Knowledge, right? Pay close attention over here. Knowledge is equivalent to studying, or in fact, time spent studying multiplied by intensity squared. Okay. Some of you will be like, this is some additional mathematic, higher math kind of thinking. I have no way how to figure this out. Don't worry. It's so simple. Okay. Let's say you guys study for 6 hours. Okay. Let's not go that far. Let's say you guys study for 3 hours. Okay. Most of you here study at an intensity level of 1, right? I'll get into the levels later, but I'm just going to say this is your scenario right now. So time spent studying is 3, intensity would be 1. What is 1 squared? Nico, what's 1 squared?
1.
Exactly. So 1 squared is 1. So your knowledge, I'm just going to put K over here, would be 3. We could call this 3 points or 3 knowledge points, whatever, right? Whatever suits. Okay. Now, some of you actually try to change your life and study for a longer period of time. Okay, let's say you guys study for 6 hours. Okay, and it's still at an intensity of 1. This is 6 knowledge points. What do you see? The amount of hours that you guys put into studying is a lot. Some of you put 3 hours, some of you put 6 hours, but you guys are studying at the same intensity of 1. Okay, what you guys think is that by increasing my time spent studying, I can improve my knowledge points, right? I can improve my knowledge points. You guys think that, oh, if I just study for longer hours, hey, I'm going to get smart, I'm going to score better grades, right? Absolutely wrong. Well, it's not wrong. Okay, it's one way of doing things, right? There are multiple ways to score good grades. Okay, let's say it's a mountain, right? Let's picture a mountain right now, and A stars or 8s and 9s are on the top of the mountain. It doesn't matter if you guys are doing IGs, A levels, IB, whatever it is, right? Imagine top grades are the top of the mountain. There are multiple ways to go to the top of the mountain, right? You can hike, you can take a plane and get someone to drop you off, right? So what I'm asking you guys is, why do you want to hike, right? Why don't you want to cheat your way through success? Right? Like cheating is really fun. If you guys can cheat in exams, I'm pretty sure all of you would cheat. So what I'm asking is, why don't you cheat when it comes to study? All right? Let me explain. I don't mean using your phone or using ChatGPT, by the way. Please do not do that. You guys are decreasing your knowledge points in that way. So let's say, um, let me give you a different scenario, right? Let's say you study for 3 hours, okay? 3 hours with an intensity of 1, 3, okay? 3 points, 3 knowledge points, okay? So I don't want you guys to get confused. So I'm just going to bring this down again. Okay, yeah, so this is the equation that we're using, right? And okay, scenario 1. Okay, I'm going to label 2 scenarios over here. You spend 3 hours studying with an intensity of 1, and you get 3 knowledge points. Okay, hear me out. Let's say scenario 2. You study for 2 hours instead. Okay, not 3 hours. It's literally an hour lesser than you set out to actually study. Instead of 3 hours, you study for 2 hours. But you increase your intensity from 1 to 2. You just go a level up. And that will be 2 squared. Can someone do this for me? Abel, can you do this equation for me? What is 2 times 2 squared?
8.
Great. 8 knowledge points. This is more than a 50% increase in knowledge gained just by studying lesser. Isn't that crazy? This is how you cheat your way to success. This is how I cheated my way to success. Yes, I went through a very tough period of time, but honestly, most of the things that I did for IGCSE, I just crammed the last 4 months and I ended up with 8 A's and A plus. Why? Because I cheated. I cheated. I did as cheated. I spent less time actually studying, but I increased my intensity. Let me give you another scenario. Okay, let's call this 3 and 4. Let's say you study for 4 hours with an intensity of 1 squared. This is still 4 knowledge points. Okay? Look at this now. You only study for 2 hours with an intensity of 2 compared to 1. That would be 8 knowledge points. You literally doubled your knowledge. You double the amount of information that went into your brain by studying lesser, but increasing your intensity. This, in the real world, is what we call leverage. This is leverage. This is gaining unfair advantage. Let's say we have 2 people, right? Person A does this, person B does this. Person A studies so many hours, puts in 15 hours a day just to get A stars, but person B just puts in maybe 7 hours a day or 5 hours a day. But in that 5 hours, person B increases their intensity. Who do you think is going to score better grades? Person B, because again, they are more advantageous, they have more leverage. It's the same thing. I want you guys to use leverage, right? Don't work hard, work smart. There's no flex in working hard. Honestly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing if you come and tell me, oh, I put in so many hours, I do this, I do that. You know, I'm studying 6 hours a day. But I don't care. I don't care how many hours you study, dude. All I care about is your grades. And take it from me. Everyone else out there only cares about grades. Your parents only care about grades. The university only cares about grades. Your IBDP program only cares about grades. Everyone cares about grades. No one cares about the amount of effort you put in. People only care about the end result, right? Since the world is so cruel, you might as well cheat your way through study. Cool. So now I'm going to show you how to unlock this intensity that I was talking about over here. Pretty simple. So when it comes to intensity, this is literally where you can cheat. There are 3 levels to this. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Okay? Now, level 1 is like scenario 3 and scenario 1. Level 1 is things like reading your textbook and notes. I promise you, please do not do this at all. There's absolutely no point in doing so. If you just pull up a textbook and read and you think you're going to score good grades, please drop it. And if you guys do this in my program, please quit the program. Get your parents to talk to me and I will refund everything. I don't want you guys in my program if you guys are using level 1 studying. Please do not. It's embarrassing. Why do you want to earn such low knowledge points, right? Why do you want to insert such little information in your brain where you could just upgrade, right? So now, how do I upgrade, Manish? You're talking about all of this, but how do I actually like cheat? How do I actually score better grades, man? Okay, super simple, right? Level 2, which is scenario 4 and scenario 2 over here. Level 2 is by doing questions, right? You skip the textbook fluff. Wait, what am I? Okay. You do questions. PYQ. I'm pretty sure all of you know here what PYQ means. Pass your questions, right? You use flashcards and you explain it to someone. Okay? When you explain a concept to someone, it forces you to understand that information. I've probably repeated this so many times. Most of you have heard me say this, but none of you use this. Okay? Maybe because you find that, oh my God, this is too much work. But again, you want to gain leverage over here, right? And the only way to upgrade from level 1 to level 2 is by abandoning all of these textbook reading and notes reading and straight away upgrade to doing past year questions, flashcards, and by explaining it to someone. Okay? But wait, there's one more way. There's level 3. Okay, this is the ultimate cheat code. Instead of doing level 2, I'm going to boost you up to level 3. Okay? Most of you have heard of aura farming over here. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's a very 15 to 16-year-old term. Okay. When I was growing up, all these terms were in there. It's a very Gen Z thing. So all of you have heard of aura farming, all these terms in TikTok, Insta, whatsoever. Okay. In level 3, I want you guys to mistake farm. Very simple, super corny term, I know, but let me explain. Okay. Mistake farming is where you try to solve one very, very difficult problem and you see how far you can get. It's as simple as this, right? Most of you do not do this because it hurts your brain. Or does it hurt your brain? Okay, fine. Then you can do level 1 stuff and gain such little knowledge points. Go ahead, right? And guess what's going to happen to your grades? Yeah, it's going to tank. And you don't want your parents nagging at you, right? So I'm pretty sure all of you hate that over here. So level 3, mistake farming. Let me show you how this works. Let's say you're doing mathematics, because I know most of you here struggle in math or at math. So I'm going to just stick in theme over here and I'm going to talk about math, right? Let's say you guys are doing any topic, for example, let's say integration. Integration is a bit of higher math, but still it's a topic in math, okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. When you do a tough topic in any subject, I want you to go to the difficult questions straight away. How do you know if a question is difficult or not? You look at the number of marks awarded. Usually, this will be the 5 to 6 markers. Okay, these are difficult questions, right? Now, this can be a question from a topic that you don't fully understand yet. It does not matter. Okay, you don't have to know the topic to do the question. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to know the topic to do the question. That's bullshit, right? If you guys know 50% of the topic, fine. Jump to question straight ahead. Let me tell you why. Here is where you sit with the problem. And grind. Let me tell you what this means. For a 5 to 6 marker math question, you probably have to do 8 to 9 steps of working. Okay, but that's not the point. When you are 50% through a topic and you are straight, okay, let's say you're following the method that I'm showing right now, right? You are 20%, 30% into a topic and you just jump to a super difficult question straight away. Chances are you probably will not know how to answer this 5 to 6 marker. Duh, pretty obvious, right? But here's the thing. I want you guys to sit with the problem and grind. What do I mean by that? I want you to try your absolute best to solve the question. Let's say there are 9 steps. I want you to start with step 1. That could be as simple as writing the formula down. Then go to step 2. That could be as simple as multiplying and dividing or just going into the other equation. And then step 3 could be where you stop. Okay, let's say there are 9 steps in total, but you stop at step 3. The fact that you stop at step 3 actually stretched your brain out so much that it actually takes in all this information. So now next time when you go back to the topic and revise and you come back, chances are you will lock in the full 5 to 6 marker. And imagine doing this in multiples. Imagine doing this for one difficult question, the other difficult question, the other difficult question. What do you think happens when all these 5 to 6 markers stack up? Your marks increase. And what happened when your marks increase? Your grades increase. It is so simple, right? Most of you complicate this. It's super simple. What most of you like to do, I'm going to put a huge X over here. Most of you like to do the 1 to 2 marker question and feel good about yourself, right? You want to do the 1 to 2 marker and then you'll be like, I can answer this. I'm pretty confident. It's pretty chill. You know what? I'm actually good at this. Let me just move on. Why? Stop cheating yourself, right? Just doing simple 1 to 2 marker questions is not going to get you anywhere. So instead of trying the simple 1 to 2 marker questions, straight away, jump to the 5 to 6 marker ones. Sit in front of it, literally stare at the question. Doesn't matter if you're doing it on an iPad, doesn't matter if you print it, right? Stare at the question and try. Push, push, okay? I don't know if you guys have gone to the gym. I know Abel has gone to the gym here. How do you think gym works? Right? When you go to the gym, it's not that you spend 6 hours a day in the gym and you go to the gym twice a week, you grow your muscle. No, the only way you grow your muscle is by hitting the gym 4 times a week, maybe for an hour, but the intensity is high, right? Let's say you're lifting, okay? What do you want to lift? Do you want to lift light weights or heavy weights? You probably want to lift heavy weights. Why? Because you want to get stronger. It's so simple, right? Coming back to studies, you doing 1 to 2 marker questions is the same as lifting 4 kilos when you guys are actually capable of lifting 8. Why do you want to lift 4 when you can lift 8? It's the same thing over here. The more you lift, right, the more difficult questions you attempt, instead of expanding your, your bicep, tricep, chest, abs, obviously that doesn't happen when you guys study. Guess what? You will expand. You will expand the best thing in your body. You will expand your brain. Your brain is literally forced to make connections when you attempt questions like this. When you push and just strive to reach step 9, right? Let's say there are 9 steps, but you stop at step 3. Hey, completely fine. At least you put your brain in pain. That's all that matters. Now, next time when your brain sees a question like this, guess what? Your brain is already adapted to attempt these kind of questions when you stretched it before. When you stopped at step 3, your brain was stretched out, right? When your brain was already stretched out, and the next time you come to the question, you attempt it again, chances are you will probably get to step 6, right? You will go from step 1. Let's say this is your second try. You will go from step 1 to step 6, and you will fail again. Go back, revise, and when you come back, you will go from step 1 to step 9. Boom. You secured your 5 to 6 marks. You got in the bag. And imagine doing this once, twice, thrice. Your marks will increase. Your grades will increase. Your brain power will increase. Everything will increase. Nothing will decrease. Absolutely nothing will decrease by doing this. No one does this because it's hard, right? Going to the gym 4 times a week and getting ripped is not easy. It's hard, but the rewards actually stay there forever. I stopped going to the gym like 3 months now, but I went to the gym about 5 months, 6 months straight last year, and I still have the bod. I still have my body. I still have my body. It's still with me, right? Yes, I've lost a bit of muscle here and there, but I have my foundation set. I have my foundation set. It's done. I have built the structure. It's the same thing over here, guys. Once you guys keep attempting tough questions, your brain will neglect doing the 1-2 markers, right? Your brain wouldn't want to do that anymore. Your brain just wants to go to the hard stuff. Your brain will force you to go to the hard stuff. And guess what? That's good for you because, well, you stack your marks, right? So what I'm trying to say here is you need to do high intensity, right? I want you guys, I'm going to go back to the knowledge equation over here. I'm wrapping up the knowledge equation. So knowledge equation, right? Okay. So instead of increasing your time spent studying, please decrease it. Decrease your time spent studying, but increase your intensity. Don't do it the other way around because you want to get good grades. Good grades is such a flex. Honestly, people say like, grades don't define you, but hey, to an extent, if you score good grades, that's good for you. Like you will be very confident, trust me. So again, how do we increase intensity? There's 3 levels here. Level 1 is basic reading, reading your notes and textbook. We don't want to do this at all. Number 2 is by using flashcards. Why flashcards? Because your question is at the front and your answer is at the back. And before turning, you put your brain in pain trying to remember things. So that's why I will put it in level 2. Flashcards, explaining it to someone. Because when you explain it to someone, you put your brain in pain as well, trying to remember things. And practice questions. Level 3 would be mistake farming. Make mistakes. It's the only way to learn, right? So I'll expand on this. Do the difficult questions first and fail. Okay, if you guys are like, I don't want to go through pain. Hey, what? Scoring bad grades is also painful, man. Scoring bad grades is very painful. That's worse. Pain is a constant variable. Pain is that. Pain is always that. Pain is always there. Pain is fixed in every aspects of life. In business, pain is fixed. In studies, pain is fixed. In trying to be a world superstar athlete, pain is fixed. You just have to put it aside and choose what route you want to take. Do you want to take the smart route or the dumb route? The smart route would be increasing your intensity, decreasing your time studying, and the dumb route would be the other way around. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with a scenario over here. You guys, let's say on average, study 2 hours a day. I'm going to lowball over here. Okay, I'm just going to assume you guys are all super lazy. You guys don't want to study. I'm just going to say you guys study 2 hours a day. Okay, now fine, stick with it. Don't increase your number of hours that you study. Do not. It's completely fine. Okay, we have scenario 1 where your knowledge points would be, let's say 2 hours times intensity 1 squared. Your knowledge points would be 2 points. Scenario 2, right? Let's say you use these techniques over here, right? Your knowledge points would be 2 hours spent studying times intensity of 2. That would be 8 points. Okay, cool. 2 to 8, it's more than a 50% increase. I don't really have a calculator with me to do the math, but that's a 4 times increase. Yeah, you increase your knowledge point by 4 times. Great stuff. Okay, hold on. Let me just charge this. Okay, now here's knowledge. Here's a scenario 3, right? You use mistake farming. You approach difficult questions. It would be 2 hours spent studying. Instead, it would be 3 squared because you're using level 3 techniques. Can someone do this for me, Emma? What's 2 times 3 squared?
18.
18 points. You literally 9x'd the amount of knowledge you can gain by studying the same amount of hours. Isn't that diabolical to think of? Isn't that crazy? Right? And you almost doubled from using level 2 techniques. Okay, I could go on and on, but I'll wrap it up here. Let me wrap this up clearly. The studying equation is very simple. Studying equals to knowledge times intensity squared. Most students try to study longer, and that's the reason why they're average. If you want to be smart with your time, you need to increase your intensity, not your hours. Level 1 intensity is reading notes, highlighting, and summarizing. They feel productive, but trust me, they're absolutely not productive at all. Level 2 is flashcards, past year questions, blurting, and explaining concepts. Now, your brain is actually forced to recognize patterns, but not remember information just yet. Level 3 is the actual cheat code. You start with the hard questions, you push through all the problems you can't solve, you sit with your mistakes, and you need to push through all that discomfort you're going to feel while applying level 3. But there's a payoff. You put in the same hours, but you will probably get 10 times the better results if you work at a level 3 rate. So, once again, I keep preaching this. Instead of increasing your studying hours, increase your intensity. You put in less time, less work, and you get better grades. I mean, what else is there? What else would you want, right? This is the best way that you can legally cheat for your IGCSEs. Now, if you found this video useful, I have another video where I talk about how to successfully cram. I know you're guilty of it, so am I. So go check that out. And as always, I hope you win.